Good morning. I'm Teacher Rose, and welcome to Contemporary Philippine Art from the Regions. For today's presentation, I'm going to tackle the different contemporary art forms according to its elements and principles. Its visual art form not only exhibits the skills of the artist, but also showcases the ideas coming from the mind of that artist. Understanding the elements and principles of contemporary arts is vital in appreciating all of the art forms in the Philippines. We're going to focus on the elements and principles of contemporary arts of performing arts and literature. Hence, visual arts were tackled in our previous lessons. So let's proceed to literature. Literature is a body of workshop that show the best that has been taught and said, or works that signify the achievements of a particular culture. Here are the types and elements of literature. Prose and poetry. Poetry refers to expressing of a feeling or idea with the use of figurative or symbolic language. The different elements of poetry are meaning, figurative language, imagery, sound, and rhythm. The number one element of poetry is meaning. When we say meaning, a writer can use idioms, new words, allusions, and connotations in expressing his feelings or ideas. Number two is figurative language. A writer may use of simile, metaphor, and other figures of speech in expressing something in a different way aside from its literal meaning. Number three is imagery. So this consists of descriptions and details that can trigger the reader's senses. Number four is sound and rhythm. Sound is the emphasis on certain words, while rhythm is the position of beats or the sound pattern of the work. Prose. Prose is a literature that is not poetry with two categories, informative and persuasive, just like an essay. And here are the elements of prose. We have theme or content, the style, form and structure, plot or storyline, characters, setting, theme, language and style, and point of view. So the theme or content, this is the general thought or idea of the composition. Style. So this refers to the choices of words and sentence structures used to convey the message. Form and structure. This is the sequence of topic and transitions that make the whole essay. Plot or storyline. This is the sequence of events in the story that gives the flow of the narrative. Next is the characters. So when we say characters, this can be a person, an animal, or even thing who takes part in the story. Next is setting. So this is the time and place where the story happened. Theme. This is the central thought of the story. Language and style. Style is the choices of words, which includes the sentence structure and figurative language that affect the mood of the story. Last but not the least is the point of view. The narrator may present the author himself for the third person point of view. So the narrator can also be one of the characters in the story for the first person point of view. Traditions and forms of Philippine poetry. We have ethnic tradition, and these are epic, folk song, proverbs, riddles, short poems, and poetic prose. First, we have the epic. When we say epic, this relates adventures of superhero with powers and serve as a code of values of a particular ethnic group. Folk song, a song that is transmitted orally from one generation to another and known as awiting bayan in Tagalog. Proverbs, a concise statements that teach morality and tradition and usually expressed as rhyming pair of lines that depict two different elements. Riddles. Riddles describes an object in a different manner or in a way that is not easily understood and may be a question for someone to discover the meaning. Short poems usually has 4 lines with 5 to 12 syllables per line. Poetic prose. This may involve marriage negotiations between two families in which every region has their own version. In the Spanish colonial tradition, there are two literature that flourished during that time, and these are metrical romance that focuses on chivalric, folkloric, legendary, and religious themes. We also have passion. So this is written in a stanza with 5 lines with 8 syllables per line, which recount the life of Jesus Christ. This is useful as a source of images, stories of Jesus Christ. Next is the forms of contemporary prose in the Philippines. These are folk narrative, myth, legend, folk tales, essay, novel, short story, and comics. So folk narrative. This is any story based on real or fictional events in the past told among the people in a community. Myth. This is a story that explains the origin of the world and its first inhabitants. Legend. Heroic and historical legend tackles episodes in the lives of great men and women. We have 3 kinds of legends: religious legend, supernatural legend, and toponymical legend. So, religious legend narrates display of miracles of God and of the saints. Supernatural legend focuses on the existence of beings from the underworld. Toponymical legend explains why a certain place has this name. Folk tales are classified into animal tales or fables, magic tales, humorous tales, novelistic tales, religious and didactic tales. As I explain the insight or information using description, narration, and humor. Novel defined as the lengthy and complex narrative of events based on the author's imagination. Short story is a concise, secular narrative with romantic, realistic, and radical tradition. Comics. Comics is a special form of contemporary literature which involves drawing frames showing a set of characters with their actions and usually contains a balloons enclosed with words or dialogue. The next contemporary art form is music. Music is an arrangement of sounds to create a continuous and unified compositions. And these are the elements of music. We have the melody, rhythm, harmony, texture, dynamics, timbre, and form. Melody is a succession of consecutive notes or tones changing its pitch and duration. Rhythm has three qualities: tempo, which describes how fast or slow is the music; meter, which refers to the unit of time that is made up of beats or pulses; and rhythmic pattern. Harmony. Harmony is a combination of different tones or pitches played sung together at the same time. Texture is the relationship of melodic and harmonic lines in music. Dynamics. When we say dynamics, this is the degree of softness and loudness of music. Timbre, also known as tone color, which is the quality of sound generated by the instrument or voice. And last is the form. So this refers to how the elements of music are organized. Next is the forms and types of Philippine music. So we have ethnic traditional music, European influenced religious and secular music, and American inspired music. In the ethnic traditional music, we have ballad, chant, and song debate. Ballad is a song that explains an event occurring in a community, while chant is a song with an accompanied melody and variable rhythm, and song debate is a song involving male and female singers who try to outsmart each other about a certain topic. In the European influenced religious and secular music, we have art song, habanera or danza, liturgical music, kumintang, passion chant. Art song is a composition characterized by merging the voice part, lyrics, and the accompaniment together to achieve an artistic musical whole. Habanera or danza. This is a social dance in duple time. Liturgical music. This is a vocal and instrumental compositions that go together with the official rites of Christian churches. Komintang. This is a dance of love accompanied by a guitar and a string bass and documented as a war song. Passion chant. This refers to the various styles used throughout the country for the singing of the Passion. In the American inspired music, we have classical music, semi classical music, and popular music. So, classical music is music includes classical music from the Western world and classical and modern music composed by Filipinos. Semi classical music includes band and rondalla music, hymns and marches, zarzuela music, and stylized folk songs. Popular music includes original music composed by Filipinos, which utilizes Western and local musical influences. Another contemporary art form is dance. Dance is an art of involving a series of rhythmic human movements that are purposely selected and involves a mindful effort to combine our movements together. And these are the elements of dance. So we have the body element, space, time, energy, and relationship. In the body element, this is how the body of the dancer moves, what part of the body moves, what actions are performed, and how the body supports itself. Space focuses on the area where the dance is performed. Time is the accent, beat, duration, meter, rhythm, and acceleration.
Energy is referred to as dynamics. This element describes how energy is directed through the body and how the body releases it. And relationship. This is how the person relates to the stage and to production elements. Here are the forms and types of dances in the Philippines. We have folk dance, ballet, modern dance, and other forms of dance like aerobic dance, vaudeville dancing, jazz dance, Polynesian and Tahitian dance, and tap dance. In folk dance, this is a dance that are developed and performed together by ordinary people. This includes ceremonial, combative, courtship, exorcism, funeral, game, torture, comic, and religious dances. While ballet is a theatrical dance presentation in which a plot is integrated with dancing, music, and stage design. Modern dance, a dance form that emerged during the 20th century and is still considered theatrical, but it bursts away from the technique and style of ballet. Other forms of dance. Aerobic dance, dancing to the tune of popular music with the purpose of increasing consumption of oxygen over a period of time. Vaudeville dancing is used to be popular during the American period. Jazz dance uses African dance techniques like isolation of individual human body parts, rhythm, and polycentrism. Polynesian and Tahitian dance. These dances began from the people living in the Polynesian chain. Tap dance. A tap dance is a dance which entails tapping with toes and heels to generate rhythmic patterns.
Another contemporary art form is theater. Theater is an art form that involves performing carefully planned actions and emotions in front of an audience. Philippine theater is described as a wide range of mimetic performances that were created and presented during occasions. And these are the elements of theater. We have performers, audience, director, performance space, design, and text. Performers are the persons who are on stage and portray their characters for the audience. And audience serve as the witness of the performance and energy given by the performers. The director serves as an overseer to the entire production and ensures that the performers do their job well and the design works well. Performance space. This refers to the space in which the actors can perform and a space for the audience to stand. Design. This is essential in placing the overall feel of the production, which includes lighting, set, costume, and sound. Text. This is the script to be presented in a play or production. Forms and types of Philippine theater. So we have dulang pahiyang, dulang bayan, and teatrong pansimbahan. When we say dulang pahiyang, theater is not viewed as a separate activity but as part of life. While dulang bayan, also known as fearful theater and considered theater in the context of social movement. Teatrong pansimbahan, this is concerned with spirituality and usually performed depending on the events in the church calendar. Last but not the least, contemporary art form is film. Film refers to a sequence of moving pictures shown on television or in cinema. Filmmaking became an industry in the Philippines during the 1950s. And these are the elements of film, time, and techniques of cinema. So, time is considered as the most significant element of cinema. And the techniques of cinema are cutting or editing, camera movement, and framing. In the cutting or editing, it involves one shot with another, making sure that these two shots are connected. In the camera movement, this is done in order to have a smoother change of view, and framing that helps bringing balance to the film as it is being viewed. Forms and types of films. These are actions, animation, bomba, docu or documentary, drama, experimental, fantasy, historical, horror, comedy or comedy. As an action film or action, this uses conflict as emphasis based on real life stories or actual experiences of persons and based from the tradition of metrical romance or literary commedia. Animation. This is a film that involves creating illustrations or inanimate images and bringing them to life. Bomba, a film that depicts nudity and sex, but it is different from X-rated pornography. Docu or documentary. This is a motion picture that narrates news events or explain other subject matter based on facts. Drama. Drama is a motion picture that dwells on personal problems and conflicts which draws sentiment and emotion. Experimental. This attempts to create something innovative or that is never done before with the camera. Fantasy. So this depicts scenes in an imaginary world. Historical. This shows an actual events that occurred in the past. Horror. This is shown to bring fear to the audience. And comedy. This is to introduce or bring laughter to the audience. And those are our contemporary art form according to its elements and principles. Again, I'm Teacher Rose, saying share love to everybody, be a blessing to everyone. Thank you.